You were just hearing an excerpt of music from a new electronic music project called Zwischenwelt, and I'm pleased to say we've got Susana Correia of Zwischenwelt on the phone talking to us tonight from New York. I'll explain a bit about the project first of all. First, the members of Zwischenwelt, it's a quartet comprised of Susana Correia, Penelope Lopez, Bette Avers and Heinrich Müller. Heinrich Müller is well known for his work with Doppler effect, ARPANET, and various other projects, and Bette Avers has been running labels such as the Commando 6, Body Vault and Venus Noir labels for a long time now, for a decade or more. The members of Zwischenwelt are spread all over the world. And the first we heard of Zwischenwelt of the project was when we were sent a small, you might call it a dissertation by email, which said it was about parapsychology and the idea of materialization, which is to say creation of matter from unknown sources. This email dissertation says it was an extended internal work within the project Zwischenwelt. And previous Heinrich Müller projects have explored concepts of science on albums such as Calabi Yau Space and Linear Accelerator, which have dealt with subatomic science of various sorts. So this seems a new tack for him, at least, blasting off into the realms of pseudoscience, as you might call it. And Zwischenwelt have got an album forthcoming on Reflex Records. And to hear more about the project, we've got Susana Correia on the line, so we'll talk to her. Susana, can you hear me at all?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. That's much appreciated. Zwischenwelt is quite a mysterious project, so we're hoping you might be able to clear up some ideas of what the project is and what it's about, etc., etc. I wonder if you could tell us, first of all, what the word Zwischenwelt means, and what's the kind of main aims and themes of this project between the four of you?
Well, Zwischenwelt literally means between world in German, and it's referring to a realm of existence that's beyond our normal, everyday, three-dimensional experience. The name really captures the essence of what the project is all about: uncertain phenomena, experiences and ideas that are hard to explain or to even wrap your head around.
Sure.
Now, really, the main objective is to explore this theme of the paranormal, and to capture the mood of these experiences, both musically and visually.
Sure. Well, parapsychology is, it's not something I particularly knew about until this dissertation hit our email box, so to speak. What actually is parapsychology, and what was your first contact with this theme or this way of thinking?
Well, the project really began in the exploration of paranormal in general, and I think that we naturally, we're drawn more to the field of parapsychology because it uses more scientific methods to investigate the existence of psychic abilities such as precognition and telepathy, whereas when you're investigating other areas of the paranormal, such as ghosts and UFOs, it's not really something that you can experiment with, within a lab.
For sure.
So, exactly. So, so we were definitely drawn more, but we do deal with other areas of the paranormal. Now, as far as, my personal contact with parapsychology, pretty much as far back as I can remember, I've always sensed that, these psychic or paranormal experience, could be or were real. I remember having dreams of psychokinesis when I was very young, and it would really scare me because I really thought that these things could occur. Mm-hmm. And it's only as I got older that I started to really, notice slight psychic experiences myself that seemed more natural. Things, like small things that most people experience, like hunches or gut feelings or, sensing that someone's staring at me, or
can you give an example of
the phone rings? The phone rings, and you just know who it's going to be.
Sure.
Like that, of that nature.
Sure. So you had some of these experiences yourself where you had a feeling that something, a precognition or some sort of sense of something which you couldn't really explain in normal terms, how you'd be able to know what was going on.
Exactly. I mean, something beyond our normal five senses.
Sure. Well, with Zwischenwelt, much of the project seems to be visual. You have a sort of MySpace page where I think a lot of the ideas and music from it has been on so far, and it's sort of the first description it gives is Zwischenwelt as visual stroke electronic, etc., etc. Can you describe why this visual aspect, or how this visual aspect of the project manifests itself, what you've done in the visual side, and why it's important to the project as well?
Well, obviously music is our first priority, but we really wanted to incorporate, a strong visual element to create a more holistic experience, to draw people in to a more comprehensive experience of this theme that we're trying to project.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay. And you produced a video for a track called Shadow Being, is that correct?
Yes, we've produced a few videos, but that's the one that we have so far. Got you.
Okay, well, Zwischenwelt members seem to be scattered all over the world. You're based in New York, I understand, and Beta Avers is based in Germany also. Is it possible to describe how you guys started meeting and collaborating and discussing the idea of the project at all?
Well, it all really started with Mueller and Beta. Started to discussing creating a project, and they really came up with the concept from its inception.
Mm-hmm.
And I started having conversations with Mueller. We found each other through MySpace and started, talking about science. And this was at about the same time that he was starting up this project. And since he saw that I had, some interest in this field, he asked me if I wanted to join on board. And, soon after, we had met Penelope also, and we thought that she was also a good fit for the project.
Got you. What was your background, electronic music-wise, or just in the creative field before Zwischenwelt then? Were you working on your own music before then? And what methods and ways of making music have you been interested in the past?
Well, my background is I started in music DJing. I've been DJing for over 12 years,
uh-huh.
And really I made a living out of DJing in Puerto Rico. Funny enough, I lived there for 9 years, so I was a big part of the music scene down there.
What kind of music were you DJing in Puerto Rico?
Electro, techno, drum and bass, a few sorts of electronic varieties there.
Mm.
And then, usually when you DJ for a while, it naturally leads you into producing. And so I was producing. I was dabbling in it, and then I was really getting into it when I made this connection with Mueller. And, once we, started having these conversations, he asked me, "Oh, are you producing?" And I was. So I sent him stuff that I was working on, and fortunately he was impressed and asked me to be a part of the group.
Got you. Okay. And by that stage you'd moved to New York, I imagine?
I moved to New York just last year.
Oh, okay. Maybe this time, we could hear some more of Zwischenwelt's music, if that sounds okay. We've got a track here. I'll just find the name for you. This is actually the track Shadow Being, the music which is accompanying a video made by Zwischenwelt, which is being circulated at the moment. And is Shadow Being on the forthcoming album as well? Do you happen to know? Or?
I believe it is going to be on the LP Yes.
Okay. Well, let's listen to that now, and then we'll chat a little bit about how it came into being and the music itself afterwards.